word, son? What do you do, YouTube? It's your boy Jay Divine. Alright, man, before we get into this video, make sure to hit the like button, comment, subscribe, share the word, spread the links, because you know how I do. If you haven't already, when you hit the subscribe button, click the bell icon to be notified every time I upload. Without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, man, so I signed up for the beta like maybe some time back, and they said June 16th will notify you if anything comes up. So that was basically you signing up for the beta. So I got my code a couple of days ago, and I installed it. And I've sat with it for maybe 2 or 3 days, or however long the beta's been out, or let me see. Yeah, about 2 to 3 days, and I've been playing the beta. And I'm giving you my honest, in-depth analysis about this beta and where they are with it now. So make sure you sit back, chill, take a pee break, pause the video, get you some popcorn, because you know how I do. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get up into it. All right, so first things first, let's get the nitpicky stuff out of the way. So let's make quick presentation. Let that be the norm, or let that be the default for online head-to-head, because honestly, bro, like, the game goes a lot faster when you're not trying to showcase every camera angle that you guys have had, trying to showcase every bit of emotion that these players have, from every big play to the reaction of the sideline and the coaches and all that stuff. Like, I can do without that. From a competitive standpoint, honestly, I don't care about what's going on the sideline. I don't care nothing about what the coach's reaction is or what the player's reaction is to certain things. I don't care nothing about that. You know what I mean? Like, I could do without that. I don't care about the stat line. I don't care about, showing the the next gen player stats thing. I could care less about a lot of that. As a competitive player, that's the last thing you're worried about. So you're not really worried about that. You're just trying to maximize all the time that you have to try to get to the start of the play, the end of the play, pick your play, then start back up again. So all that filler crap we can do without that. You know what I mean? So let's make quick presentation. Let that be the norm. Next thing. EA, y'all got to stop trying to reinvent the wheel with these camera angles. All right, now one of the things that I was noticing, that when you're kicking the ball off or whenever you're receiving the ball, there's like this weird twisting of the camera whenever like you're receiving the ball. It looks really, really weird, you know what I'm saying? And honestly, y'all have got to stop trying to make it, y'all gotta stop trying to make it look new or give it a new look to it. Like, stop doing that. You know what I mean? Like, to some people, you don't know if they have motion sickness. I don't have motion sickness, but to me, it's kind of unsettling seeing that camera twisting and turning. And especially you got guys who like to do the scrum kicking thing where they sky kick it and they give it maybe half, or like maybe half power of what it's supposed to be, just so they can kick it to the guy who's not able to hold the ball to get a fumble. But with a whole lot of scrum kicking going on, that camera angle could really, that can hinder some things. So at the same exact time, take away that twisting camera whenever we're receiving the kickoff. I don't mind the kickoff whenever you're kicking the ball off after you feel the meter and it does that little close-up camera angle. But all that twisting and turning of the camera angle when you're receiving the ball, I'm cool with that. Put it back the way it was. All right. Same thing about the same point about quick presentation. Stop trying to showcase the whole celebrate after every big play. I don't care about that. And I'm speaking from the position of like a competitive player. Like, I don't care about, the swagger, the dance, signature, spike, whatever it is. I don't care nothing about that. I don't care about celebrating after a sack, after a first down, after a big gain, after a pick, after a tackle for a loss. I don't care nothing about that. Honestly, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to get back to this huddle or the play call screen and pick the next play so I can keep this thing rolling. You know what I mean? Like, I'm on a time schedule. Like last year in Madden 22, I showed y'all that video of the whole play clock management logic, or the play clock logic, being how, because this game has it set to where you have to pick your celebration, you're literally holding up the time because it's supposed to be a constant tick down. It's supposed to be tick, 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 tick. But in 22, there's like tick, 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 tick. So you know what I mean? But because of that, you're having us pick a celebration, or because it's a big game, oh, it has to be a celebration. Hurry and pick your celebration. You know what I'm saying? Like that small millisecond of you not ticking the time down, that's enough to give somebody a chance to still try to win the game or still try to make something happen in the game. And like that to me, I know it's real nitpicky, but to me, we don't, me personally don't care about that. And maybe any competitive player could probably say the same thing. We don't care about that. You know what I mean? Like, stop trying to make it your priority to show that, hey, check out the celebration. That's kind of cool, isn't it? We don't care about that. All right, we don't care. So stop putting your emphasis into all this celebration stuff. Like, we don't care, because eventually it's gonna get old. It's gonna get ran down. It's gonna get tired, because we're not even looking at it. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. One other thing. I don't know if this is nitpicky, but this could probably be something you can probably throw in the negatives too. But I'll just keep it in the nitpicky area for the time being. But I would say that all Madden needs to be the default. All Madden competitive needs to be the default for online head-to-head. None of this all-pro stuff. You know what I'm saying? All pro is just, I understand it gives you a level playing field, but at the same exact time, all Madden, it makes you have to play smarter versus you on all pro, where you got this level playing field where you can pretty much just do whatever you want. You can run over the defense all day long with your cheap schemes all day long. With all Madden, you're getting the true potential out of every player, whether it's a user or whether it's a computer. It don't matter. If I got Slay over here, and I know the fact that he's gonna make a big play every time, hence the name Big Play Slay. If he gonna make a play every time, and you know that he not nothing to play with over there, like a sprained ankle, you know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna throw it over there on all Madden, because you know it's gonna either get swatted down or it might get picked off. So you know better than to play over there. So in all pro, you have that chance to still pick on him over there because his skill level isn't heightened on all pro. You know what I mean? On all Madden, you have to make sure that you make that smart read, or you gotta make sure that you hit the gap like you're supposed to. You gotta make these smart reads. You can't just run stuff because you know you can manipulate the AI into leaving a wide open spot for your guy to throw into, or making them to where they don't to where they don't actually react like they're supposed to. So, you know, as a result of that, make online competitive, because competitive is the default online. Make it all Madden, and really make these games good. Make them good games. I know that's kind of like, you know, a rare thing for y'all to do, but stop giving users the ability to just run over the defense and do whatever they want on all pro. Make it all Madden. Give the users their true potential out of, you know, their entire team. Let them actually show their true potential. Who's good and who not on the offense or defense, whoever, you know. So let me see what else is there. So let's get into the positives. All right. So first things first, I like the passing mechanic. I like it. You know, at first I had my doubts about it. You've seen the trailer. I had my doubts about the passing mechanic. Now, I like the fact that if you hold L2, there's probably one drawback to this, but I'll get to that in a second. The passing mechanic, I like it. I like the passing mechanic because I can now put the ball where I need to. But the only thing is, are they going to react? You know what I'm saying? But I like the fact that if I'm running the streak, right, and I see my guy has a step on him, now I don't have to worry about throwing a high point pass and hoping to God that I don't underthrow him. As long as I'm holding L2 and I put the ball in front of him, the only where he can get it, and hope that he has the speed to hawk that down, giving my guys accuracy also. If I can just put it in front of him, the only where he can grab it, that's perfect. I don't have to worry about underthrowing anybody anymore, unless I literally just do a high point pass and hope to God that, you know, hope to God that it gets there. But at the same time, you know, holding L2, it gives you more control to where you want to put it. Now, the actual the new revamped passing mechanic, you still can lead your guy however you want to, but the L2, when you hold it, or left trigger when you hold it, it just gives you a little bit more range to do it. So that's cool. Now in the options menu, there's also different things that you can tweak in order for you to really, you know, kind of, you know, tweak it to your advantage, kind of, sort of. I think it was by default set on trajectory, but they had it also set to where you can do trajectory and accuracy. So you have to, you know, if you want to put it, you know, accurately each time, you turn on trajectory and accuracy, and then you go on from there. So you don't have to worry about the chance of you throwing an inaccurate pass. But like I said, y'all can play with the settings if y'all want to whenever it comes out, or, you know, whatever. If you got the beta now, You can play with the settings. Let me know how it turns out. But the passing mechanic, that was good. I'll give y'all that one. Another thing, the guys are actually backpedaling in cover 2, 3, 4, and 6, and the deep blues play deeper now. So remember how in 22, whenever you used to, I would play cover 4, right? And most of the time, I would always have to set the depth for each what's the name? So I'll have to sit him at like 30. If we're talking about like the deep, like sit him at 30, sit him at 25, and then the flat to be at 5 or 0 or whatever. But just because I know guys love to run the deep crossers, so a lot of the times when I'm running that, my guys act like they don't know how to actually sit back there and watch those things. So they'll sit there and like be all flat-footed and whatnot, and they actually don't have no depth to them. So now I was noticing that if I ran like cover 3, let's say match, right? So most of the time there's always a safety over the top, and the strong safety, he plays the purple. But that safety back there, he's playing a deep blue. So now he's actually backpedaling. He's backpedaling, watching the field, and he's actually sitting deeper back there. So now you don't have to worry about him just getting blown past on a deep post, because like I said, people love to run crosses now, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. I ran a bunch of plays that had something to do with crossers or guys running across where the safeties are, and they sit back deep enough now to the point where you have to literally like get it past me. Like I have to literally like take my safety and move him out of position in order for you to get it past him. Other than that, like I see a lot of the guys, if they're playing the deep blue, they're all backpedaling. They're all backpedaling to their zones. The corners are actually backpedaling too, unless the guy happens to get past him. Just like the same video I showed y'all, Madden 17, where the corners are backpedaling, and then when they see the guys about to go past him, then he'll break out of the strafe and then start going, stride for stride with him. But that definitely was a real positive thing for me to see. That's what it felt like to me. Now, mind you, I have not played anybody online. With this beta, I don't really have any desire to play with anybody online. I was just trying to see if these things have been improved. So, things are subject to change, but this is just what I see. Okay. So you don't have to push them back to play the deep ball. Like if they have a deep blue, they play the deep blue. They actually do it. So, like I said, I don't know if this is going to hold. It might be subject to change. I don't know, but this is what I see. So, much definitely, much more improved. I will say that. The flats are still the same. You know what I mean? Don't pay no attention to that video where they were showing about the blanketed coverage by the DB. They play the flats a little better. You know what I'm saying? They actually are anticipating a little more. But like I said, if you don't have nobody playing in that curl flat right there, or like the seam, if you don't have nobody playing that right there, most of the time he's going to be able to just hold it. He's going to hold it down right there for a second, let him get past that flat, and then he'll just float it to that guy, then boom, whatever. But as long as you make your adjustments, you should be good. Let's see what else is there. Let's see. Man coverage seems to be improved. I haven't spent a lot of time on this because I don't really trust man coverage, but I did see one time where I ran man, and a guy was running. He was running an in route. He was running an in route, and when he ran it, the guy was underneath him, so he was watching the wide receiver the entire time. Now that probably could have been a pass where he just zip it straight to him because he's not looking. But I sat for a second because I wanted to see exactly what he was going to do. In Madden 22, I noticed a lot of the times where a guy would run man, and sometimes he will watch him cut, but sometimes he'll watch him cut and he'll stand there and just watch him cut, and then as soon as he start back running, then he'll start back running. But by that time, he's already like 4 or 5 strides ahead of him. So in this one, I saw when he did the in route, I watched the guy literally watch him. He watched him do his in route. He watched him cut, but he stayed stride for stride with him. And then he was like watching him. And then as he was like, okay, this is what he's running, he turned to look at the QB to see what he was about to do. You know what I'm saying? So he could react properly. So that was a cool little like segment right there. Now, as far as consistency with that, I have no clue. Okay, it could get worse from there, but so far at base in this beta, it looks good. So I'll give you guys credit on that. I think that play rec and awareness should actually make sense this year. I hope it does. Like I said, I hope, but I'm not gonna hold my breath. The 360 cuts, the whole hard cutting with the ball carrier. I like it, and I can see people getting really sticky with it. I can see that, you know what I'm saying? Because especially with more shifty ball carriers, like anybody who has agility to them or is just like really like, you know, like I said, shifty, I can see that being something that could get you free if you master that, you know what I mean? Because I have Miles Sanders, he's fairly shifty, so you know there'll be times I'll be running with the ball and it might look like I'm about to take it to the outside, then I stop on a dime, or it almost looks like a dead leg damn near, but it's like I stop on a dime because everybody's shifting to the outside because that's what they see I'm about to run, and boom, hit a hard cut, go right up the gut, or not a gut, but hit the gap that's right there, and then while everybody is baited to the outside, I can just go straight in, get a first down, or I might get a touchdown, I don't know, or get a first, or a big gain, a first and more, you know what I'm saying? But the 360 cuts, I like it. It's just I wish that juking had the same effect, you know what I'm saying? I wish it had the same fake out effect, not like it being like a canned animation, but like you can, if you juke, you can fake somebody out the same way that you would do, you can fake somebody out the same way as if you're doing a cut, and you know, as you were juking, you can fake somebody out the same way you do when you're doing a hard cut while you're juking, you know what I mean? But like I said, I just wish that the 360 cuts didn't have more break tackling animations versus the juking mechanic, or the juking that you can do with the right stick. That's what I wish, you know what I'm saying? But 360 cuts, the hard cutting, I like it. Big thing, shoestring tackles are no more. Now what they do is whenever you try to make that tackle to try to tackle somebody, now it's this thing where they stumble now. You know what I'm saying? So they stumble, they slow down for a little bit, and then they pick back up. So who's to say that you stumbling like that'll slow you up and you might get tackled from there on. But at the same exact time, I really wish they had a stumble recovery, or they brought that back, because that right there would add a level of, like, you know, of user skill, you know what I'm saying? Because you have to pay attention, just like when you whenever you had NCAA 14. I remember I was playing that a couple days ago, or a couple weeks ago, and I remember I caught a pick, and when I caught the ball, and there was a guy who fell right in front of me, so I ran over him. Of course I didn't jump over him, I ran over him, and when your feet get all tripped up, your guy will start stumbling. And I saw it, and I was waiting on him to start stumbling, and no more than him taking one step, you know, you can flick the stick forward to get extra yards when you fall, or you can flick it back so you can stand back up and keep running. As soon as I seen him run over that guy, I knew he was gonna stumble. He took one step, I already knew what to do, flick the right stick back, like I was anticipating it happening. And I tripped up, broke my fall, stood back up, and I took it to the house for 6. You know what I'm saying? So I wish they added stumble recovery back. I really wish they did, instead of this, you're gonna stumble, lose a little bit of speed, and then we'll go from there. You know what I mean? And on that note, Superman diving is no more. So Superman diving is especially what caused a lot of shoestring tackles. Then at the same as that time, you know how in 22, everybody, including myself, would, anytime we saw a ball carrier, we would always dive, because the game would give us, you know, these ankle tackles, these like I said, these Superman diving tackles, where you wrap the legs up, or you wrap them at the ankles, and you give, you know what I'm saying? Like, all that stuff is now is no more. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do those same goofy tackles anymore like you used to. So you don't have to worry about that anymore. On that point of Superman diving tackles, I haven't seen any more of those ankle tackles that people would go for. You know how if I'm literally like standing right next to you and you run past me, I haven't seen any more of those. I'm just go straight down for your ankles and make the tackle. I haven't seen any of that so far in my playthrough of the beta, so you don't have to worry about that anymore happening. Like I said, I haven't seen it, so I'm going to say that it's not there, but if you find it, don't be surprised. The biggest negative out of this entire thing, and I put this at the top of the list for a reason, is the midair KOs. Okay, now we're gonna really like dive into this, because this is a real big setback, and I can see this becoming a problem in the future. Okay, so in the trailer, I know y'all remember seeing, because I broke it down, y'all remember seeing the DB and the wide receiver going to the right, and the DB is trailing him. The ball gets thrown to him, and as the wide receiver goes up to catch the ball, the DB pretty much just puts his arms into him or tries to push him, and that warrants him to let the ball go. Okay, and they consider that a breakup, you know what I mean, or a midair knockout as they call it. So the problem I have with that is this: EA is not respecting momentum, size, height. They're not respecting a lot of that. The midair KOs are very pre-canned. They're very determined. They're very pre-canned. They're very pre-canned. They're very determined. And I want to say scripted too, but you know, they're very pre-canned. Let's just say that. All right. So there have been several times where I had DK Metcalf, right? Now he's a physical wide receiver. Now you can add him. You can say prime Julio Jones. You can say him. You can say Randy Moss. You can say who else? Andre Johnson, Megatron. Hell, Super Bowl 51 or 52. No, it's 51. Alshon Jeffries. You can say him. You know what I'm saying? You can say a lot of physical wide receivers that actually go up for the ball, and their intention is to go up and come down with the ball by any means. As a matter of fact, pause this video right now, and I want you to type in your YouTube search history. I mean, search history here. Search bar. Look up top 15 Julio Jones catches. Look that up. The first 2 or 3 is going to show you exactly what it looks like whenever anybody is just going up to just make contact, but don't do anything to try to disrupt the ball. Right now, the thing with the midair KOs, a lot of them have this thing where I don't understand why, and I don't know why people feel like this is great defense, but we're gonna take this head on. Why is it each time that if I go up for the ball, you can stay stationary on the ground and all you gotta do is just push me, or take your hand and sling me down to the ground, take your arm and sling me down to the ground, and that's considered defense? You're considered playing excellent defense. You broke that pass up. You know what I'm saying? Out of all the passes I've thrown, I'd say out of 100 passes I've thrown, this is maybe a hyperbole, but whatever. Out of 100 passes I've thrown, I'll say maybe 10 of those passes that were broken up, I can say I respect it. I can legit say I respect those breakups. I can give y'all that. But out of the other 90 times I've thrown a pass and tried to catch it, a lot of the times you got guys that will just push me, and that's considered a breakup. A lot of the, like I said earlier, a lot of the times where I'm going forward to try to catch the ball, a lot of the times when I'm doing that, I see a lot of the animations taking place and overruling the forward momentum. Like if I'm going forward to catch the ball, like all my momentum is going forward, but in order to knock the ball out, they have me stop my forward momentum and conform to the animation that says, no, this is a breakup. So they have me literally stop my forward motion as where I am right now, stop me right there, have the guy smack the ball out of my hand, and then they say, yep, that's a breakup. That's an incomplete pass. That right there turned me off immediately. Immediately that turned me off. Because where exactly is this physics thing that you talk about? This game still has a bunch of animations that aren't very well gelled together. It's not cohesive. That's the biggest issue with this midair knockouts thing. Out of all the positives that I just named off a minute ago, that is the one thing that I've got to say that is what made this game take a few steps back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mind midair knockouts, but they have to make sense. There was a pass I thrown to Dallas Goedert. I threw a pass to him. The pass was literally directly to him, but en route of him catching the pass, his hands were right there for the ball to be caught. But as soon as he tried to reach his hands, the animation takes over and his hands move to conform to animation to say, no, this is a knockout. So technically, that's pass interference. You know what I'm saying? Because you took me away from where the ball was supposed to be because it was thrown straight to me. So technically that's pass interference. You know what I mean? Now in Madden, will they call that? Absolutely not. They won't call that. That's considered him playing defense. You know what I mean? I have so much of this footage recorded on my phone, and I like I said, I won't put it up here because I'm not trying to get in trouble. But I have evidence to back up a lot of stuff that I'm saying. These midair knockouts are going to determine a lot of these gameplays, and a lot of it is not going to make sense. Anytime I've thrown a pass to somebody that we might have been going the same direction, or he might have been just maybe behind me, every time when I jumped up for the catch, they made them seem like pushing me out of the air, and that right there was enough to warrant me to drop the ball. You know what I mean? I had DK Metcalf get bullied by a 68 overall DB, a corner. 68 overall DB. Had him just knocking the ball out of my hands, pushing me out of the air like that's like that was just excellent defense. Like he was really getting the better of his opponent. They really was like trying to pass that off to me. Like I was supposed to just accept that. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't rock with that. The only way I can say that a midair knockout would make sense, especially in the trailer, because I've done this also in the game too. Anytime I have a guy and he's going the same direction as me, if I'm going to the right and my guy's trailing behind me and I jump up and catch the ball, you pushing me is not doing anything for me. That's not going to help you. That's not going to help you deflect the pass or make an incomplete pass. That's not going to help you. I don't understand why y'all feel like that is okay for defense. I don't understand why y'all think that's okay. I scrolled through the forums and didn't even see nothing about that. Somebody said just tweak the logic, but they didn't really go into detail about it. So I already see what Madden 23 is going to be about that. Second, anytime you're going to knock the ball out, right? This is the one time I can respect somebody literally just pushing me or putting his body into me to make me drop the ball. This is the only way I can respect it. If we're coming from opposite sides of the field, we're meeting in the middle, you decide to go up for the ball, you don't see me, and I decided to just put the fear of God on you with this hit, and you drop the ball. That's the only way I can say, okay, cool, he got me on that one. Damn, that was a good hit. That's the only way I can let that slide. But you going the same direction as me, if I'm going to the right, you going to the right with me, or left or whatever, or if I'm going up the field and you trailing behind me, you can't push somebody and expect for that to be an incomplete pass and expect the user to just accept that. That's not how football works. That's not how physics works, as you guys try to say that you've incorporated that into your animations. That's not how it works. That's absolutely not how it works. So midair knockouts, you guys, y'all are setting yourselves back. Ladies and gentlemen, that right there is what literally like just made me stop right there. You know what I mean? So midair knockouts, it's a no-go. I'm not feeling it. Let's see, what else is there? You still have guys that miss their blocking assignments. Blocking just has not been improved enough for me to say I'm satisfied with it. You know what I mean? Let's see, what else is there? Hit everything is not really physics based. It's just more contextual animations because they've added over more. I don't know. I think they want to say 3,500 more animations, but they've added different animations for different contextual events. You know what I mean? Like if you're in a certain area or if you move a certain way, they got an animation for that. That's pretty much what it is. But the fact that they try to tie physics into it, it's really not as what you think it is. So hit everything really ain't what it's all cracked up to be. Sometimes it can be excessive. Sometimes it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like the whole game tackling thing, that really is just maybe two people, and that's about it. Anything more than two people, somebody will drop off and it'll go into another person. So someone probably call it a 3-man tackle, but that hit everything game tackling is not what you think it is. It's not. So don't believe the hype in that. The fumbles are a little bit too high. I'm not gonna spend too much time on that. The fumbles are good, but just tone them back some. Like, you know what I mean? I love instilling fear into somebody that if you run this ball with such and such, you know good and damn well I'm going to get that ball back. You're gonna cough it up. I love when people run with caution. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes you play smarter instead of you just running all willy-nilly all over the field and having not a care in the world. That's what allows people to just play however they want because they know the game is not going to punish them. So tone the fumble logic back just a taste. And the reason why I say that is because I had Jalen Hurts and I was running with the ball and I was on the sideline. So I switched my hand to the sideline, right? Or whenever they switch it, and I'm running. And most of the time when you're by the sideline, they don't really hit you. They just nudge you out of bounds. I literally got nudged out of bounds and Jalen Hurts fumbled the ball right then and there. And it stayed in bounds too, thanks to the ball physics. So I was like, okay, you know what I mean? I can understand if I was running with Jalen Hurts and I'm getting all bold in the middle of the field and somebody puts a hit stick on me. All right, cool. Fumble, that's my fault. I shouldn't have did that. Cool, whatever, let's move on. You know what I mean? But tone the fumbles down just a taste. But the fumbles, I like it where it's at. Just tone it down a little bit. spamming the button to break tackles. Now, that Man on 9 video that I put up talking about how, you know, you can break out of tackles using different buttons, that literally is just a button mashing contest in 23. That's literally all it is. It's tackle battle. It's literally tackle battle 2.0. That's literally what it is. Only difference is defense that have nothing to do with it. It's literally just you having an attempt to try to break out of a tackle. That's literally what it is. That's honest to God what it is. You know what I mean? So me personally, I can do without that. I thought that they had it to where you can, you know, juke, spin, stiff arm, truck your way out of a tackle. I thought it was gonna be like that. I didn't think it was gonna be another button mashing contest. I can do without that, man, because see, now you're dipping into the arcade type thing. In competitive, I don't really want to see it like that. You know what I mean? And I didn't see it a whole lot, but anytime, like, if both of our, if my feet were together and his feet were together and we were like both kind of coming to, like, you know, trying to get some momentum going, then that's when I want to call it a tackle battle, because that's exactly what it is. That's when that kicked up. But other than that, man, you know, I don't know, I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? Because then you're kind of dipping into the arcade side of things, and from a competitive standpoint, I don't care for a button mashing contest. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Simulation, I damn sure don't want to see it in simulation. I don't care nothing about it. You know. But arcade, hey, go off, do your thing. You know. One of the things I feel like nobody is talking about, and I said earlier about the blocking logic, and, you know, people are missing their assignments. A lot of the times where they said the pass rush is cool, I'm not complaining about the pass rush. I don't mind it. I'm glad that it's like intense the way it is, because it makes people stop, you know, having all this time to sit in the pocket and make quicker reads. I get it. So I'm down with that. But the only problem I have with that is you've got to stop making my linemen conform to your animations. Like, animations is what's ruining the game. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the times I had Chase Young, right? He's at the end. And I've had, I forget what his name is, but I had him at the end. And there were plays where Chase Young had maybe 3 or 4 steps to, you know, get himself engaged with my blocker. And my blocker stood up and he's anticipating him coming. But as soon as he sees him trying to make his way around the edge, his feet are active, but then he'll stop and plant his feet and constantly trying to say, oh, I can't stop him. Oh, he got me on the edge. Oh, he got me. He got past me. You know what I mean? When he was actively trying to block him from getting to the edge. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like me having to say, oh, watch him, double team him, or pass protect to the left, pass protect to the right, double team, max pass protect. Like, I shouldn't have to do that in order for you to do your job. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I said in that last video that I made about the O-lines having their own mechanics, the O-linemen having their own mechanics, because it helps, you know, add protection, and at the same exact time make it a risk reward thing. If you guess right, cool, you get to the quarterback. You guess wrong, you get humiliated. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, you can't dumb down my linemen and put animations in that conform to somebody who's rushing off the edge. You can't do that, because every time I looked in the replay, my guy's feet, he was active. He was literally actively watching him as he came around the edge. But as his feet were moving, he stopped to plant his feet and to make it seem like, oh, I can't get this guy off the edge. Damn, oh, I'm busted. He got me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why the edge rushing looks the way it is. Because you got guys that are sitting there with their feet planted, even though they were watching him from the edge and wait for him to come off the edge, they plant their feet and the animation makes the O-lineman plant his feet while, I just hit my mic, while the O-lineman is planting his feet, the guy who's running off the edge, he's able to get around him, because that's what the animation is telling them to do. You know what I mean? So that itself is a problem. You know what I mean? So, last but not least, man, just like I said all throughout this entire deep dive on the beta, pre-canned animations are still prominent in this game. So, you know, don't come in here thinking that, you know, it's going to be something where there's more of a user controlled outcome. You know what I mean? There's still predetermined canned animations that are going to make it kind of difficult for you to get your thing going. But I will say the game feels polished, or the beta, you know, the user control is there. You know what I mean? I will say that it feels a bit tighter you know, a little bit more responses. But other than that, man, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, if I'm being completely honest with you, and you don't have to take my word for it, you do as you please. Like I said, I'm just giving you my analysis about everything that I saw. I would really highly advise y'all to sit it out, because a lot of people on Twitter are like really optimistic about it, and it's cringy. It's super cringy to see people be super optimistic about the game, because it's like it's only such amount of a time that can go by that will go by. Well, like I said, it'll go by and people will start, you know, having these issues with the game again. The same thing from the previous year. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say, ladies and gentlemen, I would highly advise y'all to just sit it out, bro. Just sit this one out. You know, I'll put a link in the description box down below to where you can do surveys, so you can try to get a free copy of the code. You know what I mean? That's literally the only way I can advise y'all to just really, like, you know, sit it out. Just sit this one out. Don't waste your time. You know, don't let the fear of missing out, or FOMO, better known as, don't let that engulf you. Just sit this one out, y'all. Like, I really want y'all to sit this out. You know what I mean? And when I get my hands on a copy of Madden 23, guarantee you we are definitely doing content for that. We are definitely bringing that to the forefront, because the way I see it, it's gonna be a long year. It's gonna be a long year, and I'm here for it. But best believe when I get my hands on it, we will be doing content. We have nothing but videos for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is my deep dive analysis for Madden 23. I really hope you guys enjoyed, man. Like I said, you can take it or leave it, but this is my honest review about the Madden 23 beta and where it's at right now. So make sure you hit the like button, comment, subscribe, share the word, spread the links. I appreciate all love and support y'all for showing the videos, man. I know I said that backwards, but whatever. Appreciate all love and support y'all for showing the videos, man. Make sure you hit the like button, comment, subscribe, share the word, spread the links, because you know how I do. But I'm going to get up out of here, man. It's your boy Jay Devon, and I'm signing out. Peace.